Welcome back to another edition of Adult Erotica in Comics. This is SVon82. I'm Scotty. You can call me whatever you like, just as long as you hit that like button on the way in. I don't mind. Now on this edition, we are going to be talking about Omaha the Cat Dancer by artist Reed Waller and writer Kate Worley. So stick around. Now, if you didn't check out my last video on Cherry Pop-Tart, you're definitely gonna wanna go check that one out. I mentioned Omaha the Cat Dancer briefly in that video. It was one of the titles that was getting pulled from shelves, and comic shop owners were getting in trouble over this in the 90s. I know, it's hard to believe, right? Totally different time back then. But Omaha the Cat Dancer was mentioned in that last video. So when I was thinking about which titles I wanted to do next, I knew that I had to cover Omaha the Cat Dancer. So that's what we're doing today. So first off, what is Omaha the Cat Dancer? Omaha the Cat Dancer is a comic book series that first started off as a comic strip by artist Reed Waller and writer Kate Worley. The comic book is centered around a feline exotic dancer who goes by the stage name Omaha in a universe centered around anthropomorphic animal characters in a fictional place by the name of Maple City, Minnesota. The comic is centered around Omaha and her lover Chuck, who is the son of a wealthy business tycoon. Omaha was created by Reed Waller, who in 1976 had founded a fanzine titled Voodie to promote funny animal comics, but was told by one of the magazine's contributors that there wasn't enough sex in the genre. Inspired by Robert Crumb's Fritz the Cat, Waller began brainstorming for his new comic. And in his search for inspiration, he grabbed his sketchbook and began hitting local strip clubs in St. Paul, Minnesota. He read articles in the paper about attempts to shut the clubs and bars down. The series makes light of real-life situations that were happening with strip clubs at the time in certain areas with blue laws. Now, blue laws are less prevalent today, but still enforced in parts of US, Canada, and Europe. Now, the idea for Omaha finally came about after another contributor to the magazine by the name of Jim Shoemeister proposed a comic called Charlie's Bimbos, in which a bevy of strippers champion liberty in the face of Puritan oppression. That very proposal ignited Waller's vision for Omaha. Omaha the Cat Dancer made her debut in The Adventures of Omaha in Voodie magazine in 1978. Now, the first ever chapter of Omaha the Dancer was published in Bizarre Sex Comics number 9 in 1981 by Kitchen Sink Press, which we may cover in the future. It was followed by a 5-page story in the following issue of Bizarre Sex, issue 10. In 1983, a comic strip featuring Omaha appeared in E-Man issue 5 on First Comics. It was called Hostess Twonkies, and it was a parody of Hostess Twinkies. In 91, a story featuring Omaha titled A Strip in Time was published in Munden's Bar Annual number 2, published by First Comics. In 1984, we got the first official comic featuring Omaha the Cat Dancer. It was published by Steel Dragon Press and featured the second chapter of the story. Now, the third chapter was completed with help from Kate Worley, and Kate took over writing on the series from here. Now, in 1986, Kitchen Sink Press began publication for Omaha the Cat Dancer, and it began getting a much steadier release. It ran for another 20 issues, running all the way through June of 94. However, sadly to say, there was tragedy in the lives of both of the creators. For example, in 1988, in the midst of publication with Kitchen Sink, Worley was in a really bad car accident, and it slowed the series down a little bit during her recovery period. In 91, Waller was diagnosed with colon cancer. A few different issues of Images of Omaha were published in 92 to help pay for Waller's medical expenses. They each featured art from some really big name comic book creators. In 1995, they ceased production of the series. In 2002, Waller and Worley decided that they were going to come together and complete the story. They were going to do the final chapter and end the story properly. However, tragedy would strike again. That same year, Kate Worley would learn that she was diagnosed with lung cancer. She began chemo and radiation treatments during that year. However, on June 6th of 2004, Kate Worley died before being able to complete the story. However, a little bit of good news, her husband, James Vance, edited and completed the final chapters for her. The series ran for 20 issues before being canceled in 1993. Fantagraphics later relaunched the series for 4 issues. It was last published in 1995. From 87 to 98, Kitchen Sink and later Fantagraphics published 6 volumes of Omaha strips titled The Collected Omaha the Cat Dancer. From 2005 to 2013, MBM's publishing imprint and Erotica published 8 volumes of strips titled The Complete Omaha the Cat Dancer. Now, to give you guys some details about what's actually in the story, it starts off with Omaha using her modeling to get work in the Kitty Corner Club, which is a local strip club. She meets Shelly Hine. They become friends. That's her best friend in the story, Shelly Hine. She begins to make a name for herself after she gets featured while working there in Pet Magazine as a centerfold or kitten of the month. She eventually meets Chuck Cat, an artist who falls in love with her. A blue light is passed and all strip clubs are to be closed down, putting her and Shelly out of work. Shelly discovers a hidden sub-basement in a restaurant owned by Charles Tabby, a powerful but mentally ill business tycoon, and the plot continues to unfold from there. Now, the series does have quite the cast of characters surrounding Omaha, including Charles Tabby Jr., aka Chuck, who is her lover and one of the main characters in the story. His father, Charles Tabby Sr., plays a big role. He is a powerful but mentally ill business tycoon. Now, Shelly Hine is a bisexual exotic dancer, and she's also Omaha's best friend. She is in a wheelchair because she was the victim of a shooting. Joanne Follette is a prostitute in the story. Rob Shaw is a gay photographer. Maria Elandos Tabby, that is Chuck's mother, who he hasn't seen in years. Senator Calvin Bonner, he is the state senator and business tycoon, vocal public morality crusader, and complete hypocrite, as he is one of Joanne, the prostitute's regulars, and is very abusive towards her. There's George, who is the owner of the Kitty Corner Club. And rounding out the list of characters, Cece and Angie, who are strippers that work at Mr. Pip's nightclub. Now, despite controversy and numerous setbacks, such as accidents or health issues, Omaha the Cat Dancer is a groundbreaking series. I'm glad that I had the opportunity to do a little bit of a deep dive on this one. Omaha the Cat Dancer was a groundbreaking series in that it was one of the first comic books which integrated explicit sex into the storylines rather than using it as shock value. It was nominated for multiple Eisner Awards in 1989 and 1991 for Best Continuing Series, Best Black and White Series, Best Writer/Artist in 1989, and Best Writer/Artist in 1991, as well as Best Black and White Series in 1991. It was such a pleasure for me to cover Omaha the Cat Dancer, Reed Waller, and Kate Worley in this video. I learned so much, and I hope that you guys did too. And I will be continuing to do these videos, so if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please hit that sub button, and also be sure to hit that like button on the way out. I really appreciate you guys. I will have another video for you guys just like this, but a different comic book next week, so stay tuned. Peace.